In this video, we're going to talk about laziness, and I'm going to give you the 4 points backed by the Bible that I used to overcome laziness and become a diligent, hardworking man of God. You see, I used to be super lazy. I would just cruise through life all throughout college, and even when I had a full-time job, I was just doing the bare minimum all of the time. And sometimes I'd even catch myself watching videos or reading books on how to become more productive. But in doing that, I was just procrastinating being productive in the first place. So my goal for this video, by the end of watching this, is for this to be the last video you have to watch on being productive and killing laziness. So make sure you listen to every single point that I make in this video and stay to the end, because the last point is a killer point and it changed the game completely for me. So my first point is, how are you starting the day? You see, Jesus was the most productive, unlazy human in history. We know this because he was perfect. He went throughout his 30s preaching the gospel, healing the sick, on the move constantly from location to location. We know that before he started his ministry, he was a carpenter. That's sort of craft with wood and making things out of wood. He was a craftsman, building things, hard work. So we know that he wasn't lazy. And in Mark chapter 1:35, we see that Jesus rises early to pray. He goes out in the morning before distractions, before the world gets a chance to put thoughts and busy his mind. He goes out and he prays. You see, how you start your day will define the rest of your day. Defeating laziness doesn't just start at 3 p.m. or 6 p.m. or even midday. I would find myself so often lying in until 9, 10 o'clock, and then I'd be like, right, I'm going to be productive now. No, productive starts the moment you open your eyes. So make sure that moment is early on in the day. You wake up before everyone else wakes up and start it productively. I would advise getting in your Bible, start praying, and then once you've done that, get a bit of food in your system and get to work. You know, it's not going to feel great when you start doing it because your body is used to being lazy. That your brain is programmed to enjoy the comfort of lying in bed and scrolling on your phone. So it's going to take a bit of oomph. You know, you're going to have to really put yourself out there. But once you overcome that and you have the discipline to push through that, over time it will get easier. So start your day properly. You'll probably find as well that once you have a bit of momentum built in the morning, that you won't want to ruin that, and it will carry through into the afternoon and the evening. So by having an undistracted morning, 9 times out of 10 it will cause you to have an undistracted, productive afternoon. Now, talking about distractions, that leads me on to my second point, which is to cut off distractions. And when I say cut off, I don't just mean slightly remove or slightly cut off. I mean cut off. You see, it says in Matthew 5:30, if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off, right? Cutting off means deleting them, removing them. Now, how does that look? Well, for me, I tried deleting all of social media. I tried fully removing everything and going ghost, and it worked for about 2 or 3 weeks. I found though that I was being called to content creation, which is why I started this channel, and so that involved a bit of social media. But if you're in a season of your life where maybe you've got a 9-to-5 job, or you're building a business, or you're at school and you've got your studies to focus on, and social media isn't really giving much to you, it's not serving you, then I would honestly advise to cut it off. You know, it's a sacrifice because your flesh craves it, but what you're going to get from that is 10 times more than what you're sacrificing, because the productivity and the laziness that you'll lose, the productivity you'll gain, is so worth it. Now, the biggest distraction is your phone, right? I talked about this in my last video, going over 5 traps that men fall into. And it really is a distraction. You see, your phone can be great. If it wasn't for my phone, I wouldn't have built this YouTube channel and I wouldn't be talking to you right now. But at the same time, it, for the last few years, has really negatively impacted my life. And I know it's impacting many lives in the world, including potentially yourself. So if you feel like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever it is affecting your ability to work, affecting your ability to operate as the man that you know you could be, the man that God is calling you to be, then I would take the hit, cut it off. Just try it for a few weeks. It's not going to feel nice because the flesh craves it, but cut it off. Because I guarantee if you kill the distractions, you will kill the laziness. Because you'll find yourself so bored, there'll be nothing to do. You'll kind of just be like, oh, what do I do now? I would have spent all this time scrolling. Now I have so much time. That's the time that you want. That's the time you're looking for. That's the time you can use to train, read the Bible, pray, work hard at your job, at your business, at school. That is golden time that you wouldn't have had before because you would have been wasting it by watching reels on Instagram. As well as that, I feel like so many people are praying to not be lazy. They're praying to become hardworking, but they're still knowingly and willingly becoming distracted. Like, you can't pray yourself out of something that you're leading yourself into. God's not just going to do it all for free for you. You can't just pray to not be lazy and one day wake up and be a productive machine. It doesn't work like that. You have a choice. You have free will every day, whether you're going to pick up your phone, whether you're going to pick up the distractions, you're going to smoke the weed, or whatever it is. You have that choice. That's a gift from God in that you can choose. So pray for strength to be able to say no. But he isn't going to say no for you. Now, my third point is about having somebody to catch you if you fall. Accountability. You see, it says in Ecclesiastes 4:9-10, 2 are better than 1. If one falls, the other lifts him up. You're not meant to walk your discipline alone. You're not meant to walk through this hard time alone. Jesus was surrounded by his disciples, and all of the disciples had each other. See, they're all going to fall at different points. Jesus was the perfect man. We are not perfect, which means by default, we're going to fall. There's going to be times where we make mistakes and we stumble. And that's going to cause us to think negatively about ourselves, to become demotivated. We need a brother, if you're a guy, or a sister, if you're a girl, to be able to sort of prop you up, to push you up if you're falling. And even if you're slipping and you might not notice it, maybe you start slipping into laziness over time. You become productive, but over time you just become a little bit more lazy, and you don't notice it because it's happening so incrementally. But your friend, your brother, can see it and they can point it out. And although that might be hard to hear from them, it's what you need. You see, laziness thrives in hiddenness. If you're hiding, if you're not telling people, if you're kind of just trying to do it by yourself, you will not succeed. You see, you need God and you need friends. So take action on this. After this video, message your friends, another brother who is on the same journey of becoming Christ-like, and say, look, I need an accountability partner. Let's hold each other accountable. And if you don't have a friend like that, then I would encourage you to go to a church or look around and pray for somebody like that. Now, I'm going to be building a community soon upon many requests of us guys who are trying to become more like Christ and pursue God. So there'll definitely be a place over the next few weeks and months for you to find somebody to hold accountable and to hold you accountable. But in the time being, go to friends, family, and tell them your situation, tell them what you're going through, and they'll be able to help you. Now, the fourth point is hands down the most important one for overcoming laziness, and that is, who are you working for? You see, nearly all of us, and I myself have been so guilty of this, are working for ourselves, or even for other people. We're working so we can get the promotion. We're working so we can get the good grades or the money, or to impress our friends and our family or our partner, right? That is a huge problem. You see, when we're working for other people, or even working for ourselves, we're working to prove something. Maybe you're working to prove to yourself that you can do it, which sounds good on paper, but the problem is, when you're feeling not so good about yourself, when you're feeling a bit demotivated, all of a sudden you don't really have the need or the fire inside of you to prove anything to yourself. Let's say you're working hard so that you can stick to your promise that you made to your girlfriend or your wife that you're gonna make it. But then you have an argument with your girlfriend or your wife, and then you don't really feel like working anymore. This is a huge problem. So what's the solution? The solution is work for God. It says in Colossians 3:23, work heartily as for the Lord. You are working for the Lord. When work becomes holy, it becomes worship. You see, we should be working out of love for God, not to prove anything to Him, but because we love Him, because we receive so many blessings from Him, the gifts that He's given us, friends, family, the air that we breathe, the life, the people around us. You see, we are sinners. We don't deserve anything, yet Jesus, the perfect man, shed His blood for us. He died on the cross for us because He loves us and sacrificed His life for us and continues to forgive us and continues to pour His blessings upon us. We work out of love for Him. And all of a sudden, when you do that, the work becomes holy. And when work is holy, it's no longer work, it's worship. Being a lazy person doesn't have to be who you are anymore. You can be a productive man or woman of God, but you have to take action. So I want this to be the last video that you watch on this kind of thing. Don't read any more books, but start taking action by following the steps I laid out in this video. So take action by starting your day properly, build the momentum, then eliminate the triggers, whether it's social media or it's the people around you, whatever it is, cut it off, make it final, get rid of it. Say, I'm going all in. Have accountability, find an accountability partner to hold you up if you fall. And finally, what are you working for? Are you working for yourself, for the Ferrari, for your girlfriend? Or are you working for the Lord who blessed you with this life and died on the cross so that you could live forever in eternity with Him? So I hope that helps. If you made it this far through the video, I want you to comment diligence down below. Diligence is a word used in the book of Proverbs very frequently, and it means careful and persistent work. So if you're ready to put in some persistent work and become a productive man of God, get closer to the Lord, become successful, and fulfill your purpose on this planet, being a man of God, a man with a heart for Christ, then leave that comment below and let's do it.